Hi everyone, this is Ashley Buck here with my last book critique number 6. The first book I chose for my featured book is called The Grand Canyon. The author and illustrator is Jason Chen. The genre is an informational book and a picture book. It won the Caldecott Award, and its reading levels from 3rd grade to 5th grade. This book is about a daughter and father who explore the Grand Canyon, and it's the father is teaching the daughter about all the wonders of this Grand Canyon, between the erosion of the soil for millions of years and the miles long, miles wide, and miles depth the Grand Canyon is, and all about the animal and plant life there. So my first lesson is a 4th grade reading, or a science lesson, and after I read the book, I will move on to the science lesson with the objective that the students will learn that erosion can occur over long periods of time and why the Grand Canyon looks the way it does. I will then ask and explain to the students how and why erosion occurs, plus any other questions they might have I will answer. I will then bring up the Grand Canyon on Google Maps and zoom in on the location so they can see it close up. And I will also describe any of the geography of Arizona and the symbols that might represent the different geographical locations at that location. And then the standard for this is the surface of Earth changes due to erosion. So after this, I will put the students in groups of 3 to 4 in which they will brainstorm and research a national park to create a PowerPoint on, and this practices critical thinking and creating. And the PowerPoint should include history, environment, life, animal species, plant species, location, formation of the national park, and that would be collaborating. And then an example here is to be given, and then which is just an example of my PowerPoint. Let me bring this up. So this is an example of my PowerPoint. If it will load, I did it on Glacier National Park, and a couple slides explaining the different topics. And then the groups will then present their PowerPoints to the class, which is practices communicating, and they can use any slideshow platform that they would like. And I forgot to mention that the theme I chose for this week is revolved around science, whether it be animal science, physical science, earth science, or plant science. So my next lesson is a 3rd grade math lesson, and the students at this point have already read the book, so they know about it being one of the 7 wonders of the world, and familiar with the background information. The students will be assigned to create a math worksheet that consists of data and information about the Grand Canyon and some examples of information that should be included in the mathematical questions are the number of mammal species, the number of fish, why it was named a national park, and how many miles long is the park. So this would practice critical thinking and creating. And before starting the math worksheet, students will be paired with other students to work together, and that would be practicing collaboration. The standard for this is to use multiplication and division within 100 to solve word problems and situations involving equal groups, arrays, and measurement quantities. So here's an example of my math worksheet that I put together, and you will see the word problems, and it's kind of like a riddle at the end. So they will be using any library books and internet for this information they may need. There's going to be a sketch of paper and a key, and then they will transfer it after it is checked by the teacher to a Word document like on Google Docs or Microsoft Word. And then when the math worksheet and its key is typed up, they will print it out. It'll be collected, mixed up, and then passed out to the pairs to complete. So the other different pairs are going to complete this. And then once everybody has completed their worksheets, they are going to pass it back to the person that created it, and then people that created it will correct it, and then explain and help each other with any mistakes made, and that will practice communication. All right, my second book that I chose is Inch by Inch. The author and illustrator is Leo Leone, and the genre is a children's picture book and realistic fiction. The award is a Caldecott Award, and the reading level is from pre-K to second grade. This book is about a small green inchworm that is proud of its skill to measure anything, and one day it gets into a little threatening situation by a nightingale, and he says if he can't measure his song, then he will eat him. However, the clever inchworm has a solution, and there is a tiny little hero on each page for the children to see. My next book is called The Little Island. The author is Margaret Wise Brown. The illustrator is Leonard Weisgard. The genre is a children's picture book and a realistic fiction book. The award is a Caldecott Award, and the reading level is from kindergarten to third grade. This book is about a little island in the ocean, and it pretty much describes what happens on this island from the seasons, the storm, the day and the night change, and what animals come to see it. My next book is called The Music of Dolphins. The author is Karen Hesse. The illustrator is Greg Carlin. The genre is a children's literature and realistic fiction book. The award is a Golden Kite Award for fiction, and the reading level is from third grade to eighth grade. This book is about a little girl named Mila who was lost at sea after a plane crash and was cared for by dolphins. She was then spotted by an unpopulated island off of Cuba by some humans, some real people, and they take her to Boston and help her start her life again. My next book is called Caroline's Comets. The author and illustrator is Emily Arnold McCooley. The genre is a biography and picture book. The award is an Outstanding Science Trade Books Award, and the reading level is from first grade to fifth grade. This book is about a girl named Caroline. It is a true story that in 1750, she was the greatest astronomer who ever lived, and also the first woman to be paid for her scientific work. She was born among the youngest of a poor family in Germany, but her siblings all shared a passion for stars, and together they built the greatest telescope of their age.